Boom shakalaka, with this indicator that has signaled every recession since the 1960s, we have the most bullish Bitcoin chart we have seen to date. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video with a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including why a recession, the most anticipated one in history, is even more anticipated now, and the one chart that is probably the most bullish Bitcoin chart I've seen in a long time. As a matter of fact, on average, 40x returns when this signal happens. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, come join us on Twitter at @TheCryptoLove. Push that like button. Now today, we are back in greed, guys. It didn't take long. Last week we were in fear, this week in greed. The overall market's up 5% today. Bitcoin 27,542, Ethereum at 1820, BNB at 345, XRP 38 cents, Cardano 35 cents, Polygon $1.24, and Dogecoin 7 cents, and Solana $22.31. And if you want to know the top altcoins today based on artificial intelligence and machine learning, well, they would be Vibing, ARPA, Bitcoin Avalanche Bridged, Caspa, and Gate. And if you want to check out token metrics for yourself, there's a discounted link down in the description. Now, Bitcoin, after having an inverse head and shoulders confirmed yesterday, you can see this is shoulder 1, this is head, this is shoulder 2. We have breaking out of the sideways trend that Bitcoin has been in for almost a whole year now, above the $25,000 levels. Right now coming up to some resistance at this ascending trend that Bitcoin is at. Right now the top of that, $27,500. However, if you notice right here, we do have an inverse head and shoulders, and generally these extend the length of the head. So if we just draw that out here, that could potentially put Bitcoin to $42,000 territory right up here in not too far in the future. But before we get there, we have the most anticipated recession in history. Every other recession caught us by surprise, but this one we've known about for, say, like 14 years so far, 15 years. Leading economic index are now at levels that have always triggered a recession since the 1960s. You can see when this level right here, every time it has touched this level, it's triggered a recession. We are at those levels once again. Buckle up, more pain ahead. But is that true for Bitcoin? As we take a look, Bitcoin has broken above the macro downtrend line and actually retested off of it. The banking crisis was just the catalyst required for Bitcoin to start its race engine. Bitcoin's now broken above 25,000. This was a little while ago. All roads clear for $38,000. So is Bitcoin actually going to be correlated with what is happening with the rest of the world? Because Bitcoin has just done something that it hasn't done since last June. Long time. It's had its first daily candle close above $25,000 since last June. Way back there, the highest daily candle close in 278 days. That's got to be good news for Bitcoin, right? Well, we may just be encountering a little bit of resistance because it appears like every cycle has its crucial resistance level after the bear market. And we can see it where Bitcoin spends a little bit of time. Pattern's always the same, but once it blows through that level, well, Bitcoin really takes off. So should Bitcoin maintain its trajectory, things are looking good. With timing and cycles, turns out bear cycles are just 13 months. Pretty much every single time we have a 13-month downtrend, and then things take off as they're doing once again for Bitcoin. The most hated rally. Everybody's like, but what about $13,000 Bitcoin? What about $10,000 Bitcoin? Well, it doesn't really look like it's in the cards anymore. I don't know. It could happen. Anything could happen. It could go to zero. But it doesn't really look like it's happening right now. As a matter of fact, we have these megaphones happening, and we can see where basically we bounce off the bottom, come up to the top. Well, same type of thing, bounce off the bottom. Guess where the top is? Oof, around $80,000 to $100,000. The 78.6 fib from the top is $50,500. So that could be exciting for Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, we have these expanding triangles. Bitcoin broke out of this expanding triangle, went up a level to the next expanding triangle, broke out of that one. Well, not yet. But could head up to the next level in the mid-30s and then into the mid 50s for Bitcoin, but on the shorter term, it does appear like Bitcoin is poised for a jump from $34,000 to $37,000 region. If we have the same 2.5 channel impulse, 2.5 channel impulse, 1.5 channel impulse, if we were to have the same thing, where as you can see in the middle of these large impulses, there is a little stagnancy between them. Well, the stagnancy is right there at the dotted line. Right now, that's $34,000 to $37,000. But don't wait too long, because this chart is the most bullish chart you can see for Bitcoin. Now, the Pi Cycle top chart, we know that has predicted every time perfectly. This is a Pi Cycle bottom chart, and this has predicted the bottom perfectly every time. The last time this happened was 2015 and 2019. Both times saw a massive bull run for Bitcoin. In 2015, Bitcoin 80x'd. In 2019, Bitcoin 14x'd. The average of that, over 40x for Bitcoin, if this signal is to hold out. But this time may be different, right? Because it's a recession. Well, maybe it won't be. Remember, 1 year from now, we have the halving. We also have a lot of people who know about Bitcoin who never knew about it before. We also have a failing banking system that is very publicly known. All of these factors, and the easiest time it's ever been to get Bitcoin, all of these factors could contribute to the most massive Bitcoin pump we have ever seen to date. And you can see that the time leading up to the halving is nothing compared to the time after the halving. Good news for us is we have the time leading up to the halving and the time after the halving ahead of us. And guess what? If you missed out on the absolute bottom, there's still good news. It's just getting started based on every chart we have right now. Even though you didn't buy the absolute bottom, well, guess what? It's pretty damn close. So that's all for today's episode. If you did enjoy, push that like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.